Most of us think compulsively all the time. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. If I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. If I think all the time, that is to say, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thoughts. And therefore, I'm living entirely in the world of symbols. Therefore, if you meditate for an ulterior motive, that is to say, to improve your mind, to improve your character, to be more efficient in life, you've got your eye on the future and you are not meditating. Well, meditation, when correctly done, has nothing to do with all that. It's a kind of digging the present. It's a kind of grooving with the eternal now. The place where it's at is simply here and now. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. It's all just sound. And if I am talking to you right now when you're doing this, don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying, because your brain will take care of that automatically. You don't have to try to understand anything. As you hear sounds coming up in your head, thoughts, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on, just as you would be listening to the sound of my voice, or just as you would be listening to cars going by, or to birds chattering outside the window. So look at your own thoughts as just noises. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it. It's all just sound. The place where it's at is simply here and now.
What is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. Welcome back to the live stream. Hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, what's up, Yusuf? Where? Okay, it's good. It's good. So yeah, so basically, let's take a look at the main thing that I'm looking at right now, and more of the short term. We are coming into the weekend, so maybe a little bit trickier to pinpoint exactly what's going to happen here. But this could be a break upward to anywhere from 91 to 95. If we want to get a real pure kind of technical target, 91, 92. That's what I would kind of be looking at right here. How could you take that trade? I'm already in a Bitcoin long from before, but something like this, you could eke out, a 2-to-1 like that, a good shot of winning. It is the weekend though, it can get a little bit trickier. It can get a little bit tougher, going into these times. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, and a few other things. Ethereum trying to hit this point, same trigger wave kind of forming on the 4-day to 5-day. So short term, trying to come back up. I'm really looking at 2150 here. If Bitcoin could get up to 92 or whatever. In ETH versus Bitcoin, you're starting to see a green Heiken Ashi candle in the 3-day. I'll take it. We take whatever we can here. any of the slightest bullish thing on ETH versus Bitcoin, we will take. Your money flow is still not where we ideally want it to be in terms of curving downward, but you're very deep on some of these time frames. So, I mean, what's going against us is the fact that QT is technically still going. They just, slowed it down, didn't completely stop it. So I guess that could make the argument that this goes lower, but we'll see. Here's a potential bottom. Bitcoin dominance, the same thing could kind of be said here. Bear div and a few other things. So yeah. And potentially coming up there. And trying to think. Trigger wave right there in the 4-day. And yeah, 3-day hidden bull div. We'll take it. It looks pretty good over here. Potentially coming up a little bit more. And yeah, yes sir. Just wanted to, and if you guys are interested in trading, check out BYDFI down below. That's a trade I got this guy on over here. If you want to trade in BYDFI, you get 10% off for life on your fees if you sign up my link down below. In addition, you get the 15% cash back on your first bonus. Similar 10% cash back on your trading fees on BloFin. There's a dog barking, that's pretty annoying. But yeah, and then potentially you could get these bonuses for certain amounts of trading volume, pretty high, but you can do it. So yeah, if you know how to trade, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Check it out, links down below. I'll give you 1 free month on Aldo Empire VIP Discord if you sign up to any of these exchanges, about at least $100 or buy a Bitcoin conference pass or ticket. I will be there in Las Vegas. Link down below. Just open a support ticket with your UID if you do that. So yeah, I think it looks generally pretty good. Yeah, a little bit of fear. It came down a little bit, but I think we could keep going. Generally, keep going in this recovery. Things could be different. Generally when you do see that little fear, that little downward, not really that much of a downward, but trigger wave forming on AVAX. So I think there's a lot of good spot buys here. AVAX, SWE are 2 big ones, and then riskier crap like virtuals or I don't know. Pick your poison. ApeCoin. There's possibilities there. Your yields are slightly coming back up, which is I would think I think they'll eventually come down, but a little bit sideways. We'll see what the hell happens here. I don't think it means much right now. Others, I think, will continue forward. Most likely we'll continue forward. Really want to hold this level, and I think we will. I think we should, and I think we will. So that's what we got to realize there. And I always appreciate you guys smashing the like button. But yeah, others versus Bitcoin. So you're getting, let's see, 5-day green hike and ashy, another one. We'll take what we can get. The weekly I'd like to see though. But we're getting something that I've been waiting for, which is going to be, I guess, a longer bull div from back here, green dot. Waves are generally kind of coming up here. It's somewhat of a bullish sign, not the strongest bullish sign. If you get the 2-week, bull div. If we get the 2-week bull div, there could be more here. There could be more to be seen here. So yeah. Trying to look at some of these. What's up, XRP Queen? XRP Queen, did you used to go by a different name? I feel like you're somebody else. I feel like you're somebody who used to go by a different name. I could be wrong. But yeah, I appreciate you, XRP Queen. Shout out to XRP Queen. Should look at XRP Osmosis. I don't know why this probably just came out, but yeah, big area that you kind of hit, over there. I don't know if this is the strongest coin, but down a lot, making lower highs. I think it's slightly. Oh no, high or low slightly. Okay, like it matters, but yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. No, you're not who I thought you were, but okay, Jamie. What's up, NBF? Shout out to NBF. Let's look at XRP. I'm going to be at the XRP event in Las Vegas too, actually, which is funny. That's after the conference. Wrong Let's see. I think I had it on Bitstamp or whatever. XRP is a weird one. That's a weirdest freaking. It's just weird. Like when I think about XRP, I just think, I don't know, but I think you're eventually going to keep going here. Trigger wave right there, I think is pretty good in the 4 hour. That's kind of what we need. Money flow, I think you have more gas in the tank if you do continue the bull run. So that's just my 2 cents. And let's see here. ADA, yeah, not too much happening at the moment. You know, kind of just bouncing around. I think you'll eventually break upward. A little bit boring. I mean, you generally do see the lower trading, the more boring stuff, you know. XRP's in its own orbit, yeah. It's kind of like Tesla stock. Nah, not really, but, you know. Speaking of stock market, I think, you know, we kind of had a lopsided day, slightly bullish, you know. A little climbing the wall of worry or whatever Ben Cowan would say that, I think. Or, actually coming up. I did look at, did I look at SWE? Yeah, I mean, like a lot of others, I think it's a pretty big buying point, you know, this forming on the 5-day. Even if it does take some time, I think you're going to do something here. Coming up right there. Yeah, Undo, I mean, it's hard to say, but yeah, I think you got a good shot of, you know, continuing forward or whatever. As long as you want to hold kind of where we are right now, that's a big point, so generally don't want to lose this area. We are losing it slightly, but I mean, you don't want to convincingly lose it. Render, I mean, there's some of them that may lose a little bit of momentum, which this has already. You know, you got 6-day, you got the weekly trying to give you something. I feel like it's lost some of its momentum. It is a little scarier. I do like the snake eyes, though. I think something will happen. I'm just afraid it kind of lost its momentum a little bit. Kind of like, I shouldn't be making this comparison, but kind of like how Pepe's kind of lost its momentum a little bit. But that jump right there, I mean, I think there's a lot of... I think in general, the market's going to come back, but, you know, Last live trade? Okay. What did CryptoFace mention me about? What did he say about me? Curious. He mentions me, and shout out to CryptoFace. I'm sure all you guys know who CryptoFace is. You probably watch him too, but if you don't, check out his channel. I would be surprised if somebody knows who I am and watches me but doesn't know who CryptoFace is. I'd be kind of surprised, but yeah. Check out CryptoFace. He's been doing good. The 22-hour on Bitcoin, that's an interesting request. Well, let's look here. We can add it to our little thing there. Yeah, I mean, if it works out kind of like how the 20 hours looking, that's a bear case to come down farther. Maybe we will come down farther. A little tricky to say, obviously. I mean, how can you trade right now? I mean, if you wanted to do the slong method, you know, the most simple kind of like, you know, good way to teach new traders kind of how to hedge bets or whatever. You try to get, I mean, that's a 1-on-1 right there. Not the best risk-reward ratio. How can we do this? I mean, to get 2, yeah, you'd have to really think we're going to... You'd basically be betting that we keep going down in this way. Above that swing high there for stop loss. However, if you wanted to get it 2-to-1, okay, you probably would be a little bit better off doing that, I would guess, yeah. And then your long trade would be kind of based off of, I mean, where are we right now? We're at 80. Yeah, we're jumping a little bit. I mean, you probably would. I don't really have a problem with trying to go for these areas, 91, 92, and then maybe below that swing low, something like that. And you'd probably get, I would guess you'd get stopped out of this one, then you'd win this one. Both are 2-to-1s. I mean, I guess, like, if you really want to, like, if we did this, then you'd be screwed, kind of. If we did this, and then we just came back down, which I guess is possible. Less likely, I would think. Or the other way you'd be screwed, I guess, is if we did, if we kind of did this, and then you kind of came back up. I'm just curious. I want to see something real quick here. So if we moved this down, let's put that at our stop loss. If one, so this wins, if they win, this loses, essentially what we're doing here. That wins, that loses. That's only a, you'd have to go a little bit higher, but not that much higher. You'd have to be betting a 93, something like that. So it would be tougher for that. So say we come down, then you'd win. You'd make money. That's good. And yeah, I guess you'd be screwed if we don't come down all the way, and then but then you'd still be fine. We'd have to, what would we have to do here for you to lose both of these trades? We'd have to come up, and then we'd have to come up. Okay, yeah. There's always a way to lose both of them, I think. Yeah. Oh, okay. I appreciate you, XRP Quinn. Yeah, the big thing, I know he had Gareth Solway on, and I know when he had Gareth Solway on, CryptoFace mentioned potentially, I think CryptoFace, I don't want to put words in nobody's mouth, but I think he mentioned like coming down, which he kind of got right. I think he got right on the way down here. Yeah, he did. And then potentially at some point getting up to 150 end of year or something. Which is kind of my main guess here. Somewhere between 120, 150 end of year. That's my main guess. Maybe even early, very early next year. Probably the earliest I could see us peaking out would be October. The latest would be January. But obviously anything could happen. I think a lot of it kind of is a waiting game right now. I mean, I think buying the dips kind of makes sense for the most part. I just want to look at like some of the ETH pairs here. Just curious about like AVAX, ETH. Because, I mean, overall, both these got completely slaughtered against Bitcoin. So AVAX is making higher lows against ETH, which is good. A little bit of blood, but nothing too bad, I think AVAX definitely is a good contender now. Definitely. Driving on the 405. Oh, I remember those days. Johnny M. When I lived in LA for a year, the 405. Yeah. LA traffic was not as bad as a lot of people made it out to be, although I was there during the pandemic. But even after the pandemic was kind of ending, even other times I've been there, LA traffic is not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. It's still bad, but I don't know. I feel like the drivers actually drive not as bad as you think they would there. They let you change lanes and stuff and make turns easier than, especially in Florida, for the most part. Less anger, a little bit more of a chiller vibe, I guess, in some ways. 6-day looks good in Peppy. Well, I mean, I've been saying, Hyper Wraith. I don't know if you're new. Welcome if you are new, but I've been thinking that we've kind of bottomed out, and we're kind of gonna keep going. I think that's the most likely scenario. Could be wrong. We'll see what happens. I think especially for the alts, I think we need relief. So yeah. Under Armour hat. I don't even know where I put that. What's funny at this place I'm staying is like so it has like what's supposedly like a washer dryer combo in the unit, and I couldn't get like the dryer aspect of it to work. Like I don't think that's working, or it doesn't really dry well at all. Like your clothes are still really that's the thing I was about to say, or I was kind of thinking of, Johnny M. Yeah, that's why the cars are like yeah, that's why the drivers are pretty chill. That probably, there's probably some truth in that. LA was cool, you know, the nature aspect, you know, Nevada too out there. I mean, the west coast of the whole, even all the way down to Chile, you know, Latin America, all that, Peru. It's really nice, you know, the west coast. It's got that, you know, more bohemian. That is a word, bohemian. What the hell does that even mean? Bohemian vibe? Spiritual vibe with the mountains and everything. I mean, that's mainly the reason why people still stay in California. It's the mountains. It's the laid back vibes. I would say culturally, LA is a little bit more like the Northeast a bit. You know, I feel like the Miami is Florida. Florida's different. Like that's its own kind of, and this isn't even like a political, you know, comparison. But yeah. But anyway, to finish that, the dryer, yeah. So there's like a common room with a dryer, but it takes like this special coin that you have to like buy somewhere. It takes a special coin that you have to buy somewhere. You can't like put a coin in or whatever. So I asked my landlord, you know, a property manager or whatever, you know, where do I buy the coin for the dryer? You know, instant question. They don't know. Look at the signs in the room. The signs in the room don't say where to buy the damn coin. So, yeah. Trying to figure that out. Florida kind of is like a different planet to a certain extent. I mean, you know, it is different. I would say a lot of the consumerism is very similar in a lot of America, though. The capitalistic aspect, the consumerism. A Bitcoin. The washer takes a Bitcoin. It's a dryer, though, bro. No, I'm not trying to use my clothes are wet. I probably have to, because the clothes were wet for too long. I kept them in the washing machine for too long, so I think they're starting to smell like mildew, so I think I have to wash them all over again. I should just find... Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have just found a laundromat that'll take the clothes and do everything for me. That's normally what I do. When you have... when you have the thing in the unit, it's usually easier just to do it yourself, you know what I mean, rather than, you know, take it down or... Because it's a little tricky to... Somebody probably could make... It's pretty common in America, I think, but... Somebody could probably make a decent amount of money if you started a business where they come pick up the laundry for you and bring it back to you folded and cleaned. I've seen those services in America. I think in America that's kind of... They probably have that where an Uber delivery, you know, one of those delivery people comes and gets it for you and takes it to a place and comes picks it up, brings it back later that day. Hang him outside. Oh yeah, they're gonna blow off my damn balcony. That is yeah, you can't do that too easily. One amount of wind and you're done. No, you gotta hang him up in the... I have to wash them again now, I think. Because you know, it's just... They kind of smell like mildew, you know what I mean? When you leave them in wet, when you leave wet stuff for too long, wet clothes for too long, they start to smell like mildew. I'm gonna have to wash them again, unfortunately. But that's that. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, just a little annoying, you know. You know how that can be. What was I thinking about? So yeah, what was that? Chuck E. Cheese tokens. It reminds me of what I think about that is I think about the Dave Portnoy pizza review at Chuck E. Cheese, and he actually didn't give it that bad of a review, which is pretty funny. It's just funny. It's like those places that are like, you know, actual pizza places. He gives like worse reviews than Chuck E. Cheese. I think he gave the Chuck E. Cheese 6 out of 10. This looks good though on ETH versus Bitcoin. Everything up until the weekly, kind of. Even the weeklies, yeah, money flow not too good, but 6 day I don't have a problem with. That's a new development too, confirms in 4 days. So yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think something's going to work here. Something's going to happen. I think this market's going to do something. We've had a lot of pain, I'll tell you that. End of March, I think the April is going to be the good month. The April rally, yeah. And we'll see, does it end up like 2022 where, that's just April and then the rest is bearish, or does it play out more like a 2021 or a 2017? I would think more of a 2021 or 2017 follow the 4-year cycle, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, 88 ETH probably has. Yeah, I mean, I would say the coins that generally have done better than ETH probably might continue to do so. I would say at some point Sol has to kind of stop going up on ETH, but who knows? XRP ETH is probably pretty interesting to look at. Yeah, yeah, May 24. Yep. Right there. Big place too. I would hope ETH would start to outperform it, but who knows? Every Sunday morning there's some sort of little dump. You probably set up some bot to trade that pretty well if that's actually the case. There was another thing somebody noticed that this is a few years ago. I don't know if it's still relevant, but like usually price is higher on Monday than on Sunday. But that's tricky to, to trade, to do well with. Swim time. Okay. Oh, okay. Going for a swim. It's probably cold out there. Yeah, the water's always cold in Kafar. Oh, wait a second. No. Yeah. Anyway, oops. Let's see. ETH dominance. Ooh, I forgot about ETH dominance, yeah. Absolutely slaughtered. But you're close to that low, though. You're close to that low, I'll tell you that much. I mean, you should do something here. Going into Sunday and there's it. Yeah, I mean, that's general weekend behavior or low volume behavior, yeah. I feel like Arrow, I mean, I don't really know too much about that one. It's another newer one. I mean, Aerodome, yeah. It's been hyped up. Double top there. I mean, it may never make a new all-time high. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. Let's see. That would be nothing there. Yeah, it could jump here. I don't know a ton about this one, but yeah, it could. This would be the place. Oh, you know what I wanted to look at MEXC token. Wrong one. Well, let's look at it on their own exchange, I guess. That probably came down more than... Yeah, this is like one of those that, it's generally always done well, but no one's talked about it, which is interesting. I don't know. It could jump here, a little lopsided with that money flow. Usually they do fall off eventually, most of the exchange tokens, except for BNB. Your CEO goes to jail and your coin still does. Can't beat the Chinese, man. Can't beat the Chinese. But yeah. There, Caspa really finally came down a bit. But yeah, CXRP Queen. Work meeting. A little late for a 5 p.m. Eastern. I think it'd be in California or whatever. Oh yeah, well, California's like 2 p.m. right now. Yeah, I'm 6 p.m. where I am. Trying to think here. Isn't slong strategy kind of bad? No. If you win, so it'd be 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Just eject. So if you risk 1 can of long and 1 can of short, and you win one of those, you would make. Yeah, you'd make one. No. You'd make 4. No, wait a second. It's 2-to-1 plus 2-to-1. So yeah, you would lose 1K and you'd make 2K. But you're not risking 2K to make 1K, really. You're risking 1K to make 2K. Yeah, you're risking 1K to make 2K and 1K to make 2K. That's really what you're risking each side. You're risking 2K to make 4K potentially. But I get what you're saying, yeah. I mean, both of the slong. Yeah, I mean, the slong. The thing with that though is like your possibility of winning is very high. Yeah, because if you won both of them, yeah. A slong strategy never fails, man. Anything with a slong in it, you should as well. I mean, it can. It depends. Like you got to have good, risk reward ratio, good setups. But I've done pretty well with it. It's kind of like when you're taking those tests in high school or whatever, and you don't know like that. You know it's one of two options for two different questions, and you put the same option for both questions, and one of them will be right. That's pretty good. BitJewel. I know DeFi Kingdoms. Yeah, let's see BitJewel. I need a ticker, man. No, you're good, Jesse Jacks. I mean, it is a good question. I mean, it is, yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I mean, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Because you are assuming, if you're assuming one trade does lose, then yeah. I think this may jump up a little bit too, the helium shit. Because they are like partnered with T-Mobile, who is also partnered with like Starlink, which is good. So yeah. That's coming up a little bit. 50%. That's not bad. 50% upward. Yeah. That really capitulated. I mean, I feel like only ways up generally here. So yeah. This is completely bang. Oh yeah, that's not even listed. That's today's crypto one. Yeah. That site was pretty cool. It was a good idea. They gave me some of that token, not a ton of it. I never promoted it or anything. Like, it wasn't even for promotion. It was just for like letting me put my videos there. Not a lot of it. It was worth maybe, at the peak, maybe $200-$300. Now it's obviously worth nothing. So essentially nothing to nothing. But yeah. Oh, Jewel. It's on Ava. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Let's see, when did this come out? Okay. So yeah, it's generally just gone down only. I mean, yeah, that monthly didn't give you too much. A little tricky to really say here, man. I mean, I would kind of want to wait for things to look a little bit better. It's just like some bull div something, the next monthly green dot, and I'm just not seeing what I want to see yet. But that doesn't mean it can't come up. I mean, I just want to see from there to, yeah, it's just so, I mean, 99.8% down. Wow. Yeah, you're just trying to hope it survives in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, let's look at ApeCoin. Trying to hold 50 cents here. It's actually not, yeah, not doing much. I don't know, maybe next week will be really good. I could see next week potentially being real good. I would hope. That's one of the hopes, one of the things, if we could just jump up a little bit more, you know. Light mode on trading, why? I like dark mode better. It's lighter on the eyes. Light mode is like, yeah, I haven't used light mode in really ever. Nobody uses light mode really. I feel like you want to be more in the dark type of stuff, you know. At least in my opinion. Let's see here. What else is there to look at? BNB, I feel like that's going to be a boring one to look at. Kind of looks good, though, potentially jumping up. So, yeah. Matic was one that's gotten incinerated. More than many of us would have thought. Yeah, they're not even, really lagging behind here, which is sad. But I don't know. I think it'll eventually do something this year. Could be one that kind of just dies out a bit. It was it was popular. Still is some good fundamentals behind it, I think. But yeah. You know, trying to come up a little bit on some of these, yeah. The sun is the background. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of obvious. Yeah, just the whiteness. There were some like old blogs that used to use, this has kind of been a thing for many years, you know, really since late 90s, I would say, or inception of like, I mean, anybody old enough who like, when did the internet get fast? Like, was it the Windows XP days where you could, read, load pages quickly? I mean, YouTube came out in 2005, but I mean, I think it was kind of slow until like 08, 07. Now what we see, is kind of quite a bit different. But I mean, when was the internet good enough where like everybody was starting to read articles and stuff? Late 90s, early 2000s maybe. But yeah. But I remember some old blog. It was actually, I could show it to you guys. Oh, what's going on? Hang on to your stock. It's out of vandals, yeah. Trading in there. I don't know. I feel like there's something sleazy going on here among the other billionaires and things trying to, Tim Walz is probably making some money off of this, I'll tell you that much. Probably got a short position in on Tesla. Walz. It's coming back though. Probably will continue to do so. What was I gonna say here? Oh, what was I? Oh yeah. There's a lot of them like that, but this one, he does videos now. Dude is very weird, but he hasn't done stuff in 2 years. This is kind of where he was done. It's a good, bad. 1 month later, yeah. Is there like a list of the archive? What was, yeah. And this is really where, he doesn't even have the best video games. Yeah, they had video games back then. I mean, this was the year I was born, 28 years ago. Worst movie. It's funny, he probably means actual whales, not... But just looking at like what the internet was like, when DSL first came out, what year was that? I mean, the VOPs, yeah, they're important. Yeah, I look at the VOPs, definitely. I even forget who that was really right. Isn't that the, if freaking, I don't even know who any of these people are. This is like so late 90s, this type of stuff. Yeah, it's just comedy, but that was kind of the... Yeah, all this stuff actually came to fruition. No one really has kids anymore, almost 30 years later. But it's kind of crazy to look, because the internet, you know, even if you're as old as I am, it seems so old. You know, it seems so new to even, you know, and even if you're in your late 20s, the internet kind of seems really new to you. And then, you know, you look at stuff, you know, people talked about 20, 30 years ago, and it's starting to really come to fruition. Let's see. What is this one? Evil spirit that haunts children. There were no... He sold books and like t-shirts and crap, but there were no ads. He's still around. How old is he, this guy? Let's see. Does it say how old he is? I think it does. Yeah, 46. So he started this like 30 years ago. Am I doing the math right? He started this when he was like 18. I think so, yeah. It was probably like... Unless I'm doing the math. Jeez, my math is... Let's say 4 minus 3... 3... Yeah, that would be one. He started this when he was like 18. Wow. 19, 20 maybe? That's crazy. Same. How many credit hours? Is that like... That's like close to... Yeah. Computer program. He probably made some money with that. That back then, I mean, too. Back then, you could make money with that type of stuff. I feel like the modern version of that, I guess, is like the AI. Like, if you're trying to think, like, what's the new thing to go into, like, aside from coding or that, you know, stuff back then, which coding is boring as hell. I mean, that's not my thing, definitely. But, well, how old do you think I am? This is funny. Fallacious, faulty reason. Oh man, orthographical. I don't even know what that means. That's a rank. I don't even know what that is. 16,000 biggest. Okay, so it's really, yeah, it's fallen off. Definitely fallen off a good amount. It's a pretty bad jawline. You're saying it's a bad jawline? I'm curious what... I feel like the jawline's supposed to get better as you... I'd say it's not. I'd say I don't have that great of a jawline, unless that's a joke. I don't know. I'm not 24. I'm not 24. Probably got a little pimple. That's probably why they're... Yeah. No, I'm not 24. A chat? Really? This guy's got to be playing my... That's a Chad jaw. Okay. Isn't your jawline supposed to get a little bit better as you get older, though? No, I'm 20. I think you're being sarcastic. I think I don't have the... Look at it. No, I mean, by no means... I mean, I would say, by no means anything that above average here. But I mean, but yeah, no, I'm flattered by that. Thank you. 24. I'm 28. I'm a bit older. I started, let's see, I mean, it's been some years now I've been trading and studying trading, I mean, unseriously since like 2014, 2015 when I was like 18 years old. But pretty, I'm 28, yeah. So that's a different, different, what was the word? Different, what's the word I'm looking for? Ah, man, I'm zoning out. Why am I zoning out? What the frick was it? Oh, man, oh, man. What was I? Okay, yeah. In terms of trading, seriously, since kind of 2020, early 2020, I'd say, during COVID, there wasn't too much to do. That's where I really got really serious about it. But I've been making the videos since I was like 24. I think I've looked pretty similar since I was around 22. In terms of the beard, towards like senior year of college. I think ultimately you could kind of, keep what you have. They say I mean, it depends. You could kind of, keep that kind of youthful look. I think between ages of like 22 to 25 all the way to really 45, you could kind of keep, generally look the same. I mean, Tom Brady at 45 probably, looked as desirable, let's say, as when he was probably 25, Where did I grow up? I mean, yeah, it's either U.S., Canada with my accent. Yeah, it was the U.S. I grew up near in New England. I grew up in New England, and then I went to college in Florida and then never really left. I don't live in America currently, but so yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely an adventure. But kind of flattered the 24. I mean, I guess yeah, I'm getting old enough where I'm flattered. Somebody thinks I'm 4 years younger. Most people would guess what Clay the Great guessed. I think the late 20s, maybe even early 30s nowadays. So yeah. But then, you think you're doing well, and then you look at somebody like Jason Casper, and you're like a 1 out of 10 compared to him. But yeah. This gonna be my gym routine. I'm not that secret. Have a dislocated shoulder right here. Gym routine. Okay, I mean I could answer. Yeah. I would say consistency among all. Really, the thing too is if you can afford it. And then the second best thing would be kind of researching it or, surrounding yourself with people who know what they're doing. But if you can't afford it, get a good personal trainer, at least for a little bit, and learn some stuff. But no, I generally, I mean, I don't think the routine is the most important thing. Like, I've done very well off of, chest, triceps one day, back biceps the next day, legs the next day, shoulders the next day or whatever. 4 or 5 days a week, stuff like that. I've done really well off of what I'm doing now is like upper body one day, legs the next day, and then cardio the third day. And definitely throw in some abs, in those routines a little bit. I would say that's pretty. I mean, at least for me, you want to train abs at least a little bit, even if you're not trying to get abs or whatever. Like I feel like the core stability is pretty important. Steak is a very new. I don't know if it is the steak. It's the most protein. I mean, I could be wrong. I think it's the most protein dense food, so I think that will help you quite a bit. I mean, I eat steak almost every day. Maybe the vegans and other people are right that are going to tell me I'm going to have a heart attack when I'm 40. I don't know. I don't think that's the case. Definitely don't think that's the case. I think the main thing that, kind of causes heart disease would be refined sugars, refined carbohydrates. Although the Coke is probably better outside of America. I don't know if this is a Mexican. I'm not in Mexico. I don't know where does it say on this where. Yeah, I have no idea where this Paraguay. Okay, Paraguayan Coke. I don't know if that's But yeah, I would say consistency is very important. Yeah, ideally, I think you want to, like in the most ideal, and I don't do this every week, but the most ideal thing you'd want to train every muscle twice a week, I think would be eggs. I don't know if that's true, man, because if you eat like 400 grams of like ribeye or whatever that may be, I don't know, a pound, 12 ounces, that's more protein than like 5 or 6 eggs, I think. I think it's like twice as much protein. Um, Yeah, the Paraguay. I don't know if Paraguay. Yeah, I think That's what you learn too. Most foods outside of America and most places are much better in terms of like chemicals and other crap, much better than American food. Which yeah, that is that thing. But ultimately, soda is really bad. I think no matter where the hell you drink it, we kind of know that. That's just made to be addictive. I mean, I eat eggs, try to eat 4 or 5 eggs every morning. I try to keep it. I don't follow this diet, completely. I am human. 4 or 5 eggs. I eat a steak pretty much every day. That would be the minimum. You could kind of get away with, like, if that's all you want to eat every day. And I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. What works for you may not work for, what works for me may not work for you. 4 or 5 eggs in the morning and then a pretty big steak, like, later in the day, combined with like some fruit, maybe a yogurt, even orange juice, whatever, Um, uh, yeah. So, I mean, people like raw milk. I've done that in the past. Some people react differently to dairy. I don't think I react the best to dairy. I feel like it gives me pimples and stuff, but it messes up the complexion. But yeah. I mean Argentina, where I am now. I mean it's like really good for. I mean it's gotten more expensive than it used to be, but the steaks definitely, like, getting steaks out. Like, man, you could get a nice steak for $25, maybe a little less than that depending where you go. But it's like a big steak. You know what I mean? Like, it's something you're spending. Like, if you bought it at a grocery store in the U.S., it's something you would be spending for that quality of meat, like at least $20. You know what I mean? And you're getting it like at a restaurant, cooked the way you want it, and you don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? And then if you buy steaks at like the sirloin, I forget, chorizo or whatever, that's if you buy it at grocery stores, $4, $3, for 300 grams, 400 grams, which is like, I don't know, 10 ounces at least. Let's see, turkey and chicken is most dense, but say yeah. Steak has creatine, yeah. It has 2.5 grams of creatine for like 400 grams of steak, 10 ounces, 12 ounces or something, which is really good. I think that helps a lot if you supplement with creatine. They say it's completely safe. I would cycle off once in a while. I do take creatine. In terms of supplements, I take creatine. I take magnesium before I go to sleep, which I think is good for your immune system too. I take zinc, and occasionally I take vitamin D if I'm not getting sunlight. Which I think those are like the safest, most, economical, less risk kind of supplements that probably will help you. I would say if you take D, take it with K2, get one of those. It's supposed to be better. And also take creatine, or no, magnesium. That's pretty much all I take for supplements. So yeah. I would say, avoid seed oils. That's pretty important. People are opening up to that. Some people are still falling for that scam. The vegan scam, the seed oil scam, all that crap. I cook with butter. Salt, I use salt, I use salt. Vitamin D. But I mean, it's yeah. I would say try to surround yourself. The thing too with, like, it depends what age you are, but like try to surround yourself with people that kind of have the same goals, and you can work out together, do things like that together. I would try to do cardio, at least once to twice a week as well, like a VO2 max workout, like the Norwegian 4x4. Stuff like that, which it's hard if you do it correctly, but not that hard if you just want to, you still get something out of it. Let's see. So yeah. And What's up, James? Might make a little like video of like what I do in a day, which I think you guys want. Macro nutrients where results will come. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you should kind of track your macros to a certain extent. I would say ChatGPT is pretty easy for that. Let's see, any good news? I mean, in terms of what I'm seeing on the charts, pretty good, yeah. Making higher lows in ETH. ETH versus Bitcoin's trying to fight back a little bit. So yeah, I think overall we're pretty good. I mean, we're coming into the weekend, so it could be a little bit tricky to, really know. So yeah. How do you become a better swing trader? Take better swing trades. That's how. Watch my video. I don't know. Good technique, long technique or whatever. Good strategy. Let's see. So we worked at a couple cool stuff here. I'm trying to think what else I want to. Is that like a virtual? I mean, do I think the bull market is canceled? No. I think we're going to keep going. I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to recover and hopefully make new all-time highs at some point this year. I think a lot of alts will come back, but I mean, some of them will not hit their old all-time highs, unfortunately. But I think we'll see an altcoin season, too. More likely a major altcoin season after the Fed officially ends QT after June, probably. But before then, I think we could see a lot of recovery. Especially for Ethereum, hopefully getting back up to 3K or something. I think swing trading, yes and no. Yes, however, there's always an opportunity in the market, especially with the Slong method. I think there's always an opportunity in the market. If you read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, like there's always some opportunity in the market. You're always going to see like something where it's like, I mean, there's good and bad things, but you're always going to see like some potential entry on the trigger wave, that like short entry, and you're always going to see like, let's look at the converse, like the kind of the long entry for a swing trade right now. You're always going to see probably the trigger. Where's the trigger wave here? Was it on the 6 or? Yeah, like trading this, like this trigger wave forming at the 4 hour. You're always going to see both, like going up like that. So actually, that makes it a little bit more, yeah, if you're just doing a trigger wave, like, strategy, I mean, that's too good of a risk-reward ratio. You could kind of, yeah, you would be looking at maybe, I would kind of go here to get a 2 to 1 or something, but, that's price efficient right there. I think if you can get back up to this level, you probably get to these, but, 2 to 1 right there, and then, how was I going to... Oh yeah, and then the converse of that would essentially be, where is it? Where are we right now? 1975. I would be more inclined to take the. Oh wait, no, hold on a second. Oh yeah, no, this is the short. Yeah, I'd be more inclined to take the long. Yeah, that's where it was a little bit, I mean, thing is, if you do come down, this one wins, that one loses. It's kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, I mean, where are we trying to, I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, the swing high is up there. Really, you probably should do something like this and then really try to bet that we're going to nuke, but I don't know if I'd want to do that, you know what I mean? Because it's a higher time frame too. It's a damn 22 hours, so it's like you're kind of trying to bet we're really gonna get railed if we do come down. So yeah. What do you mean, tethered dominance hack trades? What are we talking about here? Nas. I don't feel like looking at that crap, but I think tethered dominance should come down. I think probably would continue to come down if the market recovers, obviously. The trigger wave forming on the 2 week. I mean, it's kind of the inverse of Bitcoin right now, so I think it would probably come down. Tether. Let's see. That's kind of almost a ticking time bomb. There's been so much concern with that blowing up, and it never has. It'd be interesting to see what ends up happening with that. The thing about Tether is obviously like I wouldn't keep too much of your money in any damn stable coin, really. I mean, they'll probably be fine, but it's debated. Some people would say USDC is safer. Some people would say Tether's better. I don't know. It's kind of like they print money because the government does and all that. Yeah. See what CNBC is saying. I mean, it was the that's interesting. Yeah, major fire. Vandals. What was the anonymous crap with Elon Musk? That was a little bit. I remember the days where anonymous was cool and they were actually going after people who deserved it, but yeah. But yeah, so I check something here. Um, Anyway, let's see. Safe Moon. Is that still a thing? Like, is that... I mean, it obviously went to 0, but... Oh, yeah, they revamped it. Because it's, yeah... Oh, no, that's the original right there. Yeah, it's like looking at Potcoin or any of those other... Yeah, it kind of got revamped a couple years ago. I mean, it looks decent, yeah. I mean, but it's, it's Safe Moon. There's a lot of times where something like Potcoin looked good. They changed the name to X Protocol now, and yeah, it's coming back. It's funny how like this is still like kind of not alive, but you can't even find Ben token anywhere. Like that's completely, complete. Oh wait, did I just see barbecue? Hold on. BBQ? Did they revamp BB? This is shit. This was an old meme coin. I learned about this from Ben Cowan actually, but they probably revamped it. They're just probably hoping the old BBQ doesn't sue them. Yeah, somebody revamped. Somebody tried to do it. Probably the person who created this probably didn't even know that it was already done. But this was kind of the original meme coin, even before Doge, I think. There was oh man, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of altcoins I think are decent buys right now. I mean, Aave I think is decent. Let's look at Polkadot. That's really fallen off, but big area. I mean, I think it'll do something at some point, Yeah, Big area. Safe moon. Or Polkadot. It's interesting with Polkadot. I mean, I don't know, if you follow this pattern, you should come up. You're either going to break up or break down. Oh yeah, Chainlink's the one that's, you know. Chainlink keeps making higher lows, which I like, and I think this is a pretty good buy, I think. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. This and AVAX would be the two, like, kind of dinosaur tokens that, you know, were around last, you know, cycle that I think will jump here. Chainlink's probably outperformed ETH a good amount, I would guess. Kind of jumping up there, yeah. How about Link Bitcoin? Interesting, yeah. So you had that low there, and then you're trying to make a higher low. Maybe you'll pull it off. Hard to say. Hard to say. I'm curious about, like, about 8 Bitcoin. You can't even, okay, you can find a chart for that, but it's not. Yeah, and generally just kind of depressing, but this one you actually, okay, Crow Bitcoin. You can, yeah. Yeah, still just, yeah, all the altcoins completely obliterated. I feel like they'll jump at some point. I mean, yeah, the NASDAQ still. I mean, I would be optimistic on this market. See hack trades. Igualmente. 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 Igual. The EXE coming up as the market's coming up. I guess that's not a bad sign, actually. That would kind of, let's see, because if we're looking at QQQ versus DXY, that would kind of bring our, yeah, that would make our freaking correction look like hardly, and we're currently down, what, from all-time high, like 6.2, yeah, 8%. Yeah, still something, but still. Bonk making a move. What's up, PJ? BG. Yeah, Bonk isn't even really, I mean, it's fallen off, but yeah, it's coming back. I don't know, big area, maybe it'll jump. It's like the Solana phone coin, you know. I wonder what those are worth nowadays, the Solana phone. That's actually a good question. Let's see. eBay, Solana phone. I know they were coming out with a second one. Is that the yeah, I know. We would need to find like brand new. Let's see. Yeah, 3,000. Which really best offer. I mean, I would assume it's probably worth 3K. And we could probably figure out like what recent ones have sold for. Let's see. Completed option. Okay, yeah, okay. 35. Yeah, this is probably, yeah. Now it'd probably be worth 3K. I forgot what I saw. I had one and sold it. I think that's probably what I got. 2,500, 3K or something like that. Yeah. Well, you guys know it's not my birthday. The hack always says Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, but it's not actually my birthday. But time doesn't exist, so every day could be a holiday. Who knows? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is my birthday. March 21st. So yeah. Let's see here. Is there an Evan coin? Yeah, there is. Evan, okay, yeah, somebody did it. Oh, that's new. It's probably been released so many times, yeah. Hmm. So pretty bad for Microsoft. But I think the thing is, like, who owns Microsoft stock? I mean, I don't know. It's just not a stock people talk about. Like, who? Like, I feel like the person that owns Microsoft stock was like that cool dad in the 1990s that's like now freaking 60 years old. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, it's come down a bit. Big area. Yeah, I marked out that area. Hit it perfectly. This correction's probably not even that much. What is this? Oh, no, it's something. 18%. I don't know. I mean, you got ChatGPT. That's the main thing. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to buy this currently. People have been talking about Farcoin. Yeah, I mean, as long as you could hold where we are right now, I think it would probably continue. We'll see what happens, though. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this would be the time to give it a shot. Yeah. Anyway, guys, probably going to wrap this up pretty soon. Oh, yeah, by the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, check out BidFi. Got this trade open right now down below. You can get the... where did I... Okay. You can get the 15% cashback bonus. No KYC, no VPN. In addition, you get 10% off your fees for life if you send my link down below for BidFi. In addition, BloFin, you can get some really nice bonuses for trading volumes. In addition, 10% cashback, just like BidFi. You send with my link, only my link down below. And if you guys want to go to Bitcoin 2025 in Las Vegas, which I think is going to be a lot of fun if you don't lose all your money putting it all in red at the roulette table, 10% off with my link down below for Bitcoin 2025. So check it out. Really appreciate you guys. So yeah, just thinking here. Farcoin, bottle coin. I think it's a bot coin. That's what it was, right? Bot coin. No. No. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Hidden big support. Yeah. The other one I liked, Bitcoin 2. All the cool kids are getting into Bitcoin 2. That's really fallen off. But yeah. Really, the trick is just bet the opposite of what the person putting more money on it is doing at the table. So you see a person put a big bet on red, you put it on black, and vice versa. Or if you're with a friend, do the opposite of what he's doing. So yeah. Thing with that is, like, I mean, it can land on green, or there's that third color, but it's essentially 50-50 black and red. So the thing with that is, like, if you keep just doubling down, like, how do you keep losing, which is interesting. Interesting thing. But anyway, I will see you guys soon. Really appreciate you guys. Hope you guys do well, and check out the links down below for the exchanges. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Have a good one.